I just smoked one. He's going down, he's wobbling. Come on, baby. He's going down. That is good. Pretty sure that's heart blood. Officially a 10-pointer.
It's that time of year. We're heading to Missouri finally. Haven't seen squat for deer. I've seen a total of 4 deer while sitting on the stand, and I get out a decent amount in Michigan. Really looking forward to getting to Missouri. Cameras have been showing a lot of midday activity with mature deer for, unfortunately, like the past week and a half. So I'm hoping I'm not late. It seems way too early to be worried about it. I think I ought to hit it right. It's November 1st, and I'll be hunting the 1st through the 9th, or the 2nd through the 9th. I'll get there about 10 o'clock tonight and be up in a tree stand in the morning. So we are here. We got here at what was it? About 9:30. So yeah, about 9 hours 45 minutes for the drive down, and yeah, we got all set up. Got the bedroom. Got the Ozarks dry wash. There's kind of a sitting area. Got the Coleman stove for cooking breakfast. Fridge. Coffee's ready to go. So here we go. This is it. Gonna have to get up nice and early tomorrow. Get a stand set up in the dark. And let the party begin. Well, good morning. We are all set up. We're kind of off the edge of the food plot / building site. And yeah, I got it set up in the dark this morning. And then I was reminded I don't like setting up these hot setups in the dark. And as I was doing it, the deer was blowing in. But I probably should have just done something quick, and midday isn't necessarily a safe time anymore this time of year. But I will definitely set up the other one on the other side during the daytime sometime. I'm just not exactly sure when I'm going to do it. So a lot of acorns are dropping. It's like 32 degrees, no breeze. So see what happens. I just had a little spike come from kind of the pond. It's almost 7. And then he came and did a licking branch and stood over a scrape. Never even realized it was there until now, but it's perfect. It's about 25 yards away, so hopefully more come visit it. About 11 o'clock. Thought I heard something in the food plot or building site, whatever. And yeah, it was a small buck, spike, maybe a 3-point. Came out there and then walked right down the logging road right in front of me. Little young deer midday action. I was gonna get down at 11. Maybe I'll give it a little bit longer. He kept looking back that way, so. Well, that was interesting. So I got down about 11:30. Grabbed the truck, came around to the south side of the property, parked the truck up top. I was walking down the road, dropped it down into the valley here. All of a sudden I hear something. I look along the ridge, and here comes a nice 8-point. I don't think it was the big 8, but it was really nice. G2s were huge. G3s not so much, but it was a good buck. No clue I was there. He was only about 25 yards away. And of course I don't have my release on or nothing. I knocked an arrow, pulled back just in case. Yeah, that was at noon. So we're all set up here now, right next to the camera I got on the logging road here. And Yeah, it's a southwest wind. And what I've kind of noticed is the wind's coming from that way downhill. It actually goes in and comes up. So we got the stand hung during the daylight, which is a hell of a lot easier. And we're gonna give it a sit for the rest of the afternoon and see what happens. About 2:45, and just had a small 6 walk by the ridge above me there. So would have been close enough for a shot. It looked like it was going to start coming down the loggy road, but then it just kept side hilling. And yeah, nose to the ground. The searching phase is definitely on. A little bit before 4, and 3 does and a decent buck came along the bottom here. Again, he was just kind of casually following them. I think they stayed down in the bottom, but I didn't get a real good look at him. Not sure if I would have shot him or not. Like I said, he was decent. Looked like an 8, I think, but we'll see. And they were actually down there for quite a while, just milling around. There was actually 4 does. The does went this way. I think the buck is still back there. Little forky, or a 6 point, one or the other. Came right down to the bottom, right where all those does did. So, yeah, they're definitely following the does around. They're getting ready. Holy smokes, time flies when you're seeing deer. Seen another small one. I think that's a total of 12 today. So officially in one day in Missouri, I have seen 3 times the deer I said seen all season in Michigan. Fuck you, Michigan. Morning. It's November 3rd. And yeah, fairly quiet this morning. I did have a small 6 point come from up the hill. He was about 10 yards from me. And then he circled around and dropped down below me. So I think it might have been the same 6 point I seen about 3 o'clock in the afternoon crossing above me. But yeah, it's a good start to the day. So let's hope they start getting bigger and get within that shooting range. That'd be awesome. 7:30 and 2 does walked through the bottom, right where everything was going yesterday. I might have to consider a stand move here because, yeah, I thought, well, yesterday the 4 does came through and then, okay, buck. But now 2 does went back that way. That definitely, they seem to be traveling that bottom. Well, I was considering moving my stand, but because all the deer have been in the bottom, but all of a sudden I had a 10 point come right below me about 10 yards. So he had his mouth open and was, yeah, he's definitely looking hard. It's close to 9:30, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and make the move. Even this 10 point went right down to there. And you know what? You just never know. You know, I could wait till 1 to 2, but they could be moving from 1 to 2. So I'm just going to do it because I will kick myself if I wait for 1 to 2
and something else moves down there, or something moves down there while I'm trying to move it. So either way, I just got to do it. So we're going to do it. Well, not bad. It took right about 30 minutes to get that down and reset it up here and get all set. So nothing blew at me. So I don't think I spooked anything. Deer went through the food plot at 9:30 though. So yeah, I'm in shape where the deer have been moving the majority. Well, that was just in the nick of time. Probably 10 minutes after I got situated, two does came right down the logging road. Camera got a picture of them. See how they just walked 30 yards past that other stand. I just watched one of the big bucks walk right down too, and I'll be kicking myself for moving. 11:24, and yeah, I'm right down close to the creek bottom here. It gets brushy, so I'm just inside the woods, and there's this deer blowing at me like right there, like 20 yards away. I couldn't even see it. I did see another one walking, but yeah, the wind is just going right there, which I knew, my wind would be down there, but the deer have been moving up here. I should be just downwind of them. So 12:30, a couple of does. I think those are the ones actually that were blowing at me earlier. I think they're just bedded in this brush right here, because all of a sudden I looked out and they were kind of on that side of me, facing this way, like they had come out and they walked right by me and then just walked right back into the brush again. So I think they're just bedded right there, which is a good thing. And they're not spooked off. Bedded does is good when bucks are looking for does. That was one of the smallest spikes I've ever seen. I don't even think they were 3 inches. That might have been the one that I seen the first morning. That was teeny. Yeah, he must have smelled where I was yesterday and this morning, because he kind of walked over there, and yeah, I was sniffing, and he was a little jittery, but may I tell you, these Missouri squirrels are ornery sons of bitches. They're just scolding shit all day long. But one thing I've noticed here in Missouri, I don't see deer every time I hear squirrels chattering, but every time I've seen a deer, there's been squirrels chattering at the deer. So that's been kind of interesting. I guess it keeps me on my toes every time the squirrel starts going off. I just keep watching that direction. But yeah, and then also this deer bedded down behind me. I've only heard this once before, but I've heard it sneezing. It sneezed twice, so that's kind of cool. November 4th, we're back on the north side, and it's about 6:45. Just had a doe come from across the road and actually head over to the pond, it looked like, to probably get a drink. Straight downwind of me. I think she might have smelled me, because then she came out and kind of trotted off that direction. So it's gonna start getting warm. I have a feeling it's gonna be mornings and late afternoons, and yeah, maybe like 69 up today. I think 75 the next couple of days. I just had a doe and a fawn skirt the west edge of the food plot here. She was acting real nervous. I don't know why. Wind's coming right from that direction, but if she came out, I think I was gonna shoot her. It was a good doe. I need the meat. It's gonna get warm, and I really want to take a deer off the property. It's only been 4 years and I haven't taken a deer off the property yet.
they just side held it back away that direction, so I'm not sure what was up with that. 2 more doe come from the road. Looks like they went to the pond again. I lost sight of them, so we'll see where they go. These deer acting all crazy. They were running around in the pond. I don't know if the video footage could pick up the sound. Now they're just running around in circles around me. A couple of young ones playing. There's actually 3 of them. It's an evening hunt, and we are going to sit in the ladder stand. Yeah, we moved this here a couple years ago. It was down further. Used to be a very regular scrape right here, so I wanted it up here. And ever since I moved it up here, there hasn't been another scrape. But there's an old logging road that runs right by the stand. It's warm, it's 71 degrees, windy as hell. I was gonna go on my climber on the top of this ridge because we've never hunted up there yet. At least I wouldn't have to worry about swirling winds, but it's really windy. My thought is that the deer won't want to be traveling the ridge tops with all that wind, so I'm just over the north side. Yeah, at least it's a little bit protected. The wind is swirling a little bit, but I'm going to need some luck the next few days here. It's going to be in the 70s. Not sure if it's going to be windy. Very similar, very similar to 2 years ago, although it was hitting like 85, but we were seeing activity in the morning, pretty much nothing, maybe right at dusk, but I didn't see any reason to do an all-day sit today, and went back and aired out my clothes and took a nice nap, so I feel refreshed. Needed that. Boy, now I was wishing I was sitting on the food plot stand. Check this out. It's been a minute since I got a picture of a bobcat, but a bobcat came walking out. And I've got a tree stand right across from there. It would have been really cool to actually see him in person. That would be awesome. Let's check this out. It's whitetail. I took a target practice with my small game head. Ended up cutting out the squirrel tail. So hey, at least I have some trophy from Missouri. Good morning, November 5th. It's another warm morning. It's going to be another warm day. Didn't see anything last night. Cameras have gone dead. Part of me wonders if it's my presence. I think it's more likely the temperature. As the temperature has increased, the deer activity has gone down. The cameras have gone down. I think early morning is going to be where it's at, maybe at dusk, and that's probably the best we can hope for. So, keep chugging along. Well, hey, that was some of the most excitement all morning, seeing a dog. I wonder whose dog that is. I did see a turkey, but the higher the temps, the slower the deer movement. I like that tree setup. I like to get some multi-trunks like that. I get a back to sit on. I have one in front of me I can put my bow hanger on, and then Another one to my left, put my bag on. Kind of nice. Feels pretty concealed too that way, but doesn't matter when you don't see a deer from it. Scrape right there. Rub on that tree right over there. Never seen wasp like this in Michigan. The cabin, there was a couple of them in there. Actually three. There was one dead, one flying around and knocked down, and then another one the other day. And they're just huge, very strange looking red. Then I seen one on that log the other day. So must be some southern wasp, Missouri wasp. Yay! I seen a deer today. Woo! Spike. I was hoping it was a doe and maybe a buck would be following it, but one deer. I'm back in the bottom stand again. This morning, got it nice and early, and at 6:40, I just had a doe walk right next to where my mid-ridge set was. Keep an eye and see if a buck follows her. Maybe I can call. Alright, I got two does that came off the ridge. And a really nice big buck. He's kind of hanging out by him. Now I look down and there's one or two other bucks deeper in. Just out of shooting range. But man, those does can stay here and he can just start noticing this way. This could happen. Looks like it's a really good 8-point. Maybe a 10-point. I lost sight of the bigger buck. The smaller one's still below. The does are heading into the creek bottom. Some bitch. So close. So that smaller one went behind me through the brush. Still haven't seen the other one. I still see the does milling. But I thought, well, I grunted at him and he heard it. I thought for sure he was going to come this way. But he's just really casual, like that other buck. When he came, I thought for sure that, he was going to be pissed. Like, hey, these are my does. He didn't care. He just kept going down into the bottom. I lost sight of him down there, so I tried rattling to see if maybe I could get him to come back, maybe something a little more aggressive. In the meantime, the 6-point was on that side of me. I think he heard it and kind of ran off, but all I can hope is that he's here and maybe he's comfortable and milling around and maybe he'll pop back out. But that was an exciting morning. The whole thing lasted about a half an hour. What sucks is, so that first doe that came through, I ranged that spot in case a buck followed. That was 50 yards. That would have been a poke. But if a big enough buck came, I figured I'd be ready for it. Then these does came across the same way and then actually dropped down over here. So I ranged that. It was 37 yards, a little more reasonable, just in case the buck follows. But guess what? That damn buck didn't follow it. Which I think is why they came down, because they were going across and all of a sudden they cut down. He came from further that direction and down. But at first I thought he was tending them. Because he kind of went down to him, kind of pushed him this way a little bit. But then he didn't care. They were feeding right here, and he just went and fed down into the bottom and left them. That other buck came. He kind of went nosed him a little bit. But yeah, that other, the smaller buck didn't piss off the bigger buck. So yeah, they're definitely not
in heavy searching mode yet. He was just hanging out with them. So I gotta figure out how to hunt the creek bottom tonight. But I think this is gonna be the morning spot for the rest of the week, so. Oh shit. It's almost 10 o'clock. I heard something. I look over and I see that buck came out of the creek bottom. He's kind of quartering away, you know, probably like 80 yards away. I dropped my grunt call when I was trying to screw around before grabbing the camera, which is why I wasn't gonna take video, because I just don't want to fuck it up. Which I already did. I dropped my grunt call. So I rattled, and he actually came running over, but he stayed high to me, or he stayed high of me. I tried doing mouth grunts, but unsuccessfully. So he actually stayed high of me, went above where my other stand was. I tried rattling one more time, just to see if maybe I could get him to come back down, but probably not. So we're going to try something new this afternoon. The north side of the property drops down, well, both sides of the property drop down to the creek. On the north side, once you get down towards the bottom, there's a bit of a cliff. Probably a 15-foot cliff. And there's a creek crossing. I'm just not sure of the distance. Like if I get on that cliff, I think it might be about a 30-yard shot. And I think it's clear. Or I might just work along that cliff and look for somewhere where I got a clear shot and hope to catch them moving through the creek bottom. Or there's just a layer of spruce that's pretty thick that I can see maybe them bedding in. Maybe them staying in, trying to keep cool. Although it is on a south-facing hillside, so I'm not so sure about that, but the main goal will be to get and hunt over the creek bottom. So almost there. That's the opposite hillside that I've been hunting in the mornings, at least. So creek should be right down there. There's the creek. Fortunately, the crossing I was thinking about is actually a little bit around that bend. And I do have, obviously, if anything comes to the bottom, there's a cross there, I'll get a shot, but that's pretty much about it. How this works, this will be, well, regardless of whether it works or not, this will probably be the craziest thing I've tried to do. Got a spot here where I'm pretty much playing one shot. The trail crosses 10 yards. You know, the stream's there. There's an opening on the other side, probably 20 yards away. The thing is it's thick both ways, and I don't think I'll see him coming. I mean, if it happens, it's going to be like boom, and then it's a matter of if I can draw before they see me. We're going to give it a shot, because it's warm as hell weather, and I think they're down here. Alright, we're ready. Holy shit, it actually worked. Better make this quick, because it's prime time now, but I knew there's a deer
coming. It might have been the same buck as the other side, I'm not sure. He's coming. I thought these dogs were past, so I reached for my camera because I was going to try to record him walking past. Because it's like literally on the other side of this brush. Like just on the other side of that brush. That was freaking crazy. That was fun. Just seen deer, just the wrong deer, but this worked. Better than I expected. Well, I learned something tonight. They are traveling this cliff edge right above the creek. I just had another one sneak up on me that side. You know, I seen trails, but that's kind of cool because I can sit up on some of these ledges, just wait for them to like pass below. Looks like that may be more successful than hunting the creek bottom, but yeah, that's kind of cool. November 7th, I like to call Bill Winky Day. It's Bill's favorite day to hunt. We've had some pretty good success too. Cody shot his 2 Iowa bucks on November 7th, 3 years apart. October 28th has been kind of the day for me, but I always go into the woods with high hopes on November 7th because of Bill Winky. That being said, other than the fact that it's dead still, today might be the worst day from weather conditions. It was actually 61 degrees when I woke up this morning. Definitely dropped a little bit, but it's supposed to get up into the 70s again. At least it's still. So we're back in the bottom here, hoping to get a crack at that buck or something close to him. 2 does dropped down again, about where they were yesterday. We'll see if Mr. Buck follows. So yeah, a decent amount of activity this morning. Not the right deer, but 9:30. Yeah, I just had 2 more does come. They were feeding like right below me. For a while, I don't think they see very many hunters. Because yeah, I don't know how they didn't smell me. But they kept, they even looked up a few times. No big deal. It's pretty cool. I do think I'm gonna tweak this a little bit. Everything just seems to be coming and going out of this one spot here. And so yeah, it's not much. I'm probably gonna see if I can move my tree stand about 30 yards. But that'll put me kind of in the heart of where I've been seeing most of the activity. It'll put me right up on top of that buck. Yeah, so I think we're gonna try to make a move for the last day's sit. We'll probably sit till about 10:30, or depending on what we see for action. But it's starting to get warm, so I don't anticipate that it's gonna keep going. I didn't go over the shit. I tweaked that stand, and yeah, I got everything down, got everything pretty much up. And then I realized I left my bow hanger in the other tree, so I had to take everything down, set it all back up to get my bow hanger, get the stand set. Okay, got everything packed up, get halfway up the hill,
Left my release. I had to walk back down again. It is hot. Too damn hot. Sucks. Afternoon hunt, November 7th. And we're gonna give the food plot one last sit. You know, still too warm, 73 degrees, but there's a weather system coming. Unfortunately, it's gonna hit as I'm driving home, but it is gonna start changing Saturday. So, change in wind direction. It's now coming out of the north. It's been coming out of the south all week. It's still warm, but tomorrow morning it will drop to 48, which will be good. Down in the valley, it ought to be lower 40s, I would say. So we're planning on doing all day sit there tomorrow. So I'll just hunt this tonight and then pull it when I get down. That way that's all taken care of, because after tomorrow's hunt, we gotta pack up and head out Sunday morning. So. Apparently it's a good night for bird watching. Turkey and the barred owl was cool. There he goes. Just flew across, freaking out on the squirrels. That was cool. It's November 8th, and this is the last stand for Missouri 2025. Nice and cool this morning. Truck temps at 41 down here at the bottom. I think 46 or 48 up on top. Nice and still this morning, but it's going to get breezy this afternoon, so we just got to shoot one this morning. That's all there is to it. About 7:30, I got 4 does right up where I had my first stand. I got 1 doe right where I had my second stand. I don't see any bucks yet, but I hear like they're almost maybe being kind of pushed around. All I can hope is that they follow the script and come down to this one. Buck behind him. Can't tell how big he is. I just smoked one. I just smoked him.
He's going down, he's wobbling. He's wobbling. He's wobbling. He's almost down. Oh. Come on, baby. He's going down.
What a hell of a week. Weather was not on our side. The first couple days were good. Weather makes a huge difference down here in Missouri on deer movement. And last day, it's going to be warm again today, but it's just still moving in. But so I'm just gathering my composure a little bit and charging my GoPro because both batteries died. So yeah, there was a smaller buck, and honestly, I thought if he comes along, he's good enough for a first deer off here. And guess what? They were 20 yards in front of the stand I moved from. So yeah, I'm watching him. The doe kind of pegged me. Then my arrow kind of came off my rest. I'm like, here we go. Then I look, and here comes a bigger one. And they all came across. He stopped at like 30 yards. I let it fly, and I could tell I put it right. It's got to be right in his pump station. He ran probably about 60 yards and just stood there and wobbled, and eventually went down. So, like I say, I'm just soaking in the moment. Letting some text fly. Then we'll start getting this shit down and get him out. All the rest of the day. This is freaking awesome. Oh, thank you. Now walking up, I can see the Luminac. I kind of figured it was a complete pass through. I'm pretty sure I shot right through the heart. He was right out here. There's the Luminac. Yeah, look at all this blood. Oh, this is where he was standing. Actually, right here. Standing right here. Started running. Blood right away. That is good. I'm pretty sure that's heart blood. So, not that I have to track them, but we're gonna because it's fun. Yeah. This is how the blood starts. And there he is. Look at that. He actually has a fork on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Officially a 10-pointer. That's a freaking bonus, man. Holy crap. Holy crap. That's awesome. Look at that. Hole in the horn. That is one of the coolest bucks. That is one of the coolest bucks I've ever shot. Wow. And to do it in Missouri on our property, it's just amazing. So here he is, my first Missouri buck Officially a 10 point. Got a crab claw in the front, sticker coming off the back of there. Just a really cool buck. He's got a hole in the horn right on the bottom. But yeah, this is freaking sweet. As you can see with the backdrop, these are the ridges we're dealing with. And we got some work to get him out of here because it's all uphill from here. But man, what a week. Frustrating week at times. Highlights at times. But man, I just felt like this morning, with the weather system coming up, the way things have just been slow for like 3 days straight with the temperatures, and then getting down, like I think it was 41 this morning. Like, they've got to be moving. They got to finally start doing some rut stuff, and that's what happened. Basically, about 7:30, I seen 4 does up where I had my first stand, and it sounded like they were being pushed around. And then there was one right below my second stand, the one that I just moved. But then I seen there was a smaller 8 nosing them down. They started coming across, and they only came 20 yards across the stand that where I had it previously. But then I seen this guy, and yeah, he crossed at 30 yards. Never knew I was there. Put it right into his front shoulder. I'm pretty sure it's got a blown out the heart. Probably went about 60-70 yards, dropped in sight, and I couldn't be happier. Just freaking awesome. All right, Travis got his snot rocket, and we're gonna load him up. All right, he loaded up. That looks pretty good in the back there. Southern Missouri deer just aren't as big as Michigan bodies, but I still like the rack, that's for sure. So just for such an occasion, cut it to death. Look at that. Look at that hole in the horn, crab claw, the sticker, Missouri 10 point. Just for this occasion, brought a Dominican cigar and Scotch whiskey straight from Scotland. We're celebrating. It's 3:30. We've got the deer cut up. I've got it caped out, the skull cleaned out, and the cape there. Got a majority of the stuff packed. So yeah, we're just gonna celebrate a little bit. Take in the evening, and Missouri 2025 was a success. It wasn't easy. These rugged hills and all that makes it hard anyway, but boy, when you add some warm weather and tough deer hunting conditions, you know, little deer movement, it can be, like any hunt, can have a lot of ups and downs, but there's plenty of highs, you know, some lows, but man, all in all, it was just a blast of a trip, and can't wait to do it again. Or can't wait to just go out my back door and do it anytime I want. Hopefully that's coming soon. Cheers. Alright. Last night we're doing some final cleanup. Get things packed up. And I'm going to score this guy and see what he comes out to. So, we'll see. Alright, it's official. 134 3/4. not that I didn't know it already, but this is officially my biggest buck with a bow. Happened to come on my property in Missouri, and yeah, couldn't be happier. One more look at the crab claw and hole in the horn. Missouri 2025. Peace out.